remain standing. Please remain standing for the invocation by Reverend Mark Lingle. Following the invocation, please remain standing for the Star-Spangled Banner.
Assalamu alaikum. Namaste. Bole so nihal sat sri akal. Let us pray. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Blessed are you, O Lord our God, creator of the universe. We give thanks for this day, the serendipity of this moment, and the beauty of the creation that surrounds us. We gather to celebrate the intellectual, artistic, athletic, service, and community interests and accomplishments of the class of 2022. Thank you for the love and support of parents, siblings, friends, grandparents, faculty, coaches, board members, mentors, volunteers, and staff who have had a hand in preparing these graduates to grow and to flourish in an ever-changing world. As these graduates commence with the next chapter of their lives, may they value intellectual curiosity as well as compassion. May they seek peace with justice. May they honor the spark of the divine in the other as well as recognize it within themselves. May they understand their part in caring for this creation, our island home. And may they live more fully into who it is they are to be and share their gifts for the enrichment of our common humanity. Strengthen them to draw often on the virtues of perseverance, kindness, respect, and integrity, as well as their creativity, sense of humor, and resiliency as they make their way in the world. May they always be mindful of their connection, one to another, and with this world. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Welcome to the class of 2022 Commencement. You may have noticed that our esteemed faculty, college counselors, and administration are indeed in robes, but our academic regalia is missing. Despite the fact, and I know this for a fact, despite the fact that our hoods were ordered in December, they are not here. If there is one thing we've learned in the last 2 years, it is how to be nimble and to adapt. As it turns out, supply chain issues even affect academic regalia. Please join me in recognizing our distinguished educators who have helped our students develop into the accomplished scholars they are today and good human beings they are today. Would the faculty please rise to be recognized? want to see you a little bit better. Congratulations, class of 2022. This is the moment you have waited and prepared for. Whether school was easy for you or you had your struggles, you made it. You will shortly move those tassels from the right side to the left side and throw your caps in the air to celebrate your newly acquired diplomas. Before I share a few words with everyone, I'd like to take a moment to recognize the King School Lifers. We consider lifers those students who started at King in either pre-kindergarten, kindergarten, or first grade. Congratulations to our lifers. Please stand as I call your name and remain standing until all of the lifers have been recognized. Giovanna Armetta. Madison Barry. Jose Butler. Emmy Freeman. Eleanor Gowdy. Ronald Harvey. Dalton Asa. Jack Holtz. Austin Laramie. Jamie Mano. Jonah Savitz. Owen Donovan. Mariana McCosker. Jacob Gordon. You have, stay standing for another minute. You have grown up at King. This has become your second home. Your teachers have helped you find your voice and used your voice for good. They've helped you find and pursue your passions. They have been there to pick you up when you have stumbled. They have believed in you. I hope that King School, where you grew up, where you swung on the monkey bars and slid down the slide, where you played foursquare and made friends and performed on stage and played on the playing fields and experienced the joys of learning, will hold a special place in your heart forever. Please give our lifers and their families who have entrusted us with their precious children a round of applause. Class of 2022, I know you are ready for the next chapter. How do I know you are ready? I'm going to take you back to your first day of school, whether that was at King or a different school. One of your parents, a sibling, a family member, or a caregiver probably packed your backpack for your first day. In it, they put all of the things that they thought you might need for a successful first day of school. You may have carried a notebook, pencil, eraser, crayons, maybe a sweater to keep you warm, a snack for recess, perhaps your favorite blanket or a stuffed animal, or even a handwritten note. Whether you have thought of this or not, the backpack has most likely remained a constant in your life as a student. As you became older, the essential tools in your backpacks evolved too. Maybe you carried a scientific calculator, a laptop, a musical instrument, a mask, hand sanitizer, your athletic gear, or a presentation for an end-of-year assignment. Today, I'm going to share with you what I believe is in your backpacks as you move beyond King. These essentials are no longer material things. They are character traits, hard and soft skills, foundational knowledge that you will build upon as you pursue college careers, college degrees and careers, tangible and intangible attributes that you will bring into adulthood and will help you succeed as tomorrow's leaders. Throughout your years at King, whether you started in the lower school or sometime later, you've accumulated experiences, successes, and challenges that are now in that backpack, or, as our head of school, Ms. Sedlowski, likes to call it, your toolbox. In your backpack, you have invaluable knowledge. You have not just learned, but learned how to learn. You have discovered the power of wonder, of inquiry and exploration, of discovery and self-discovery. We know you have learned to question, find the facts, and seek the truth. While we cannot predict what tomorrow's jobs or even our society will look like, we know that you have the right skills and mindset to be successful. You have discovered the power of perseverance and adaptability, especially during the past 2 years. If there is a silver lining for the pain, the loss, and the challenges that the pandemic brought us, it is that we are now nimbler, more adaptable, and more resilient than ever before. You have learned the power of teamwork and community, the importance of friendships, and diverse viewpoints and perspectives. You know that together we are stronger. You carry the virtues you lived during your time at King: integrity, kindness, perseverance, and respect. Those virtues have been our school's guiding principles, and they will continue to serve as your life compass, guiding your decisions and helping you to make good decisions. As we celebrate your accomplishments and your special day, let's also acknowledge the contributions of all those who have helped you to get here. Your friends and families, your teachers, coaches, administrators, and King School's unwavering commitment to academic excellence. We wouldn't be here today without your family's decision to send you to King. They entrusted us with your education and felt that King was the right place for you to learn and grow. Your parents and loved ones have celebrated your successes and helped you overcome challenges. There were likely sacrifices, perhaps some tears and exhaustion, all worth it now, I am sure. Your teachers, coaches, advisors, counselors, and every educator you interacted with here at King had one goal in mind: to help you succeed and to prepare you for the next stage. Each in their own way pushed you when they felt your best work was yet to come and celebrated your best effort, whatever the final grade. Each encouraged you to try new things, push boundaries with the goal of discovering and pursuing your passions and interests. Today, at the end of this celebration, we will ring our bells once again in what is one of King's most special traditions. And I'm going to quote the wise words of our Student Council President, Dean Katabaski, during this year's ringing of the bells ceremony. He said, "The ringing of the bells shows us the power of community better than anything. A single bell can be difficult to hear, but when we all ring our bells together, we create a sound that cannot be ignored." Commencement surely represents the end of a stage, but truly it is about commencing, about beginning. You are expanding your horizons and entering a different world, one that will be at times uncertain and unpredictable. We don't know what the future holds, but I know you will be ready to pursue your dreams, ready to succeed, and well prepared to better our world. Before I close, I ask you to once again think of your first backpack. Imagine you open it. Hopefully the zipper works better than on a King backpack. Hold on a second. There we go. You reach in and you find, first, a brand new Slinky, a bouncy ball, an eraser, a kaleidoscope, a parachute, and a heart. These items represent my hopes and wishes for you. A Slinky, so you remember to be flexible and keep stretching your ability to learn and grow. A bouncy ball, it's okay. So you always bounce back from your lows. An eraser, so you learn from your mistakes and allow yourself to rewrite your own story. A parachute. Remember these? Still works. So remember that you need to stay open, with open minds and courageous thinking. A kaleidoscope, so you never lose perspective and you keep an appreciation for different angles. And lastly, a heart. So love and kindness are forever present in your lives. Remember, don't take yourselves too seriously, and no matter how old you are, never lose the joys of childhood, your sense of play and wonder. It is always bittersweet to send off a graduating class. We will miss you. And yet, I am thrilled to send you into the world, because this world needs you. We need bold, imaginative, compassionate leaders more than ever. As you receive your diplomas, know that King will always be your home, and we will always be here for you. Congratulations, class of 2022. Words to the graduates.
Thank you, Carol. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, I would like to welcome everybody, and I have to say it's great to have a full tent. This is the first time in 3 years we've been able to be together in this way. So welcome. Class of 2022, I'd also like to add my congratulations. Well done, you made it, and you greatly deserve the wonderful recognition of all your hard work. Graduation is the perfect milestone to celebrate the years of learning and academic achievement. I know your family and your friends, your teachers are all immensely proud of you today and probably wondering how 18 years passed so quickly. So I can tell you this is my 40th college reunion weekend, which Lynn and I are going up to tomorrow. And I can assure you it doesn't go slower from here. And there will be many momentous days and milestones ahead for each of you. There'll be college graduation, grad school, marriage, jobs, promotion, reunions, births, and many more. But this is as big a moment as any of them, so take it in and enjoy it. Because graduation is a reward. It's a reward for your dedication, your perseverance, integrity, conscientiousness, dependability, and commitment. And in addition to those character traits, you've had the love and support of your parents and family. You've had the encouragement and inspiration of your teachers, your coaches, your counselors, and your advisors. Everyone who is here today, in person or in spirit, cared about you and cared about your King education. They're here to share this moment with you because they've all played an important part in your academic journey. Let's take a moment to thank them with a round of applause. Finally, I'd like to share a few words of advice that served me well during my college years and beyond. When I went off to Bowdoin, I guess 45 years ago, my mom and dad each gave me a piece of advice. My mom said, call home at least once a month and come home regularly, which was somewhat ironic because they moved from Boston to Mexico 2 months into my first semester. But as I have learned from my twins, who are proud King grads and college sophomores, it's good advice, and it will sustain not just your parents, but it will sustain you as well. So go home. My dad said, always leave things better than you found them. And interestingly, the advice I give my kids every day at drop-off was change the world. And those things, this concept of stewardship and this concept of changing the world are exactly the same. I guess we do become our parents. But if you think about it, if everyone every day had the objective to make each situation, each interaction a little bit better, it would sustain all of us. Class of 2022, at this stage of your life as a scholar, it comes to a close, but a new chapter begins. Your new challenge is to continue to stretch, to extend your abilities, to keep asking questions, exploring, and discovering. One of my favorite books is Educated by Tara Westover, and in it she says, find out what you are capable of, then decide what you are. Class of 2022, never lose your sense of wonder, and I know you will change the world. Congratulations.
Thank you, Tom. Congratulations, class of 2022. We're going to miss you so much. It has been a privilege and an honor to be your upper school head. And it is now my pleasure to introduce this year's valedictorian. Our valedictorian for the class of 2022, Ronnie Harvey, has been at King since he was 4 years old. And during his illustrious career here, he has stood out for his wide-ranging academic interests, abilities, and his single-minded commitment to learning. As Director of College Counseling, Jessica Landis pointed out in her recommendation for Ronnie in the college process, quote, Ronnie is only the second King student during my tenure, a 9-year tenure, to enter senior year having earned only straight A's across every single class in every single semester. Jessica Landis couples this fact with another key observation about Ronnie. Quote, Ronnie is the quintessential liberal arts student, eager to soak up every bit of knowledge that his teachers share, and even more excited to pose challenging questions that allow him to gain deeper understanding, unquote. I'm thinking I could probably start right here, as Jessica's assessment stands on its own. But let's just take a peek at Ronnie's academic successes so we can celebrate with him. Ronnie graduates today with a full slate of 15 advanced seminar and advanced placement courses, straight A's, as I mentioned, a 36 ACT, a National Merit Semifinalist recognition, and recently became a candidate for the United States Presidential Scholar recognition. This level of achievement is breathtaking, frankly, and I hope it didn't take all of your breath away, Ronnie, in the achieving of it all. I don't think it did. As Ronnie's presence in his classes, and as Jessica also points out, was so positive, so engaging, and his teachers all point to the, quote, pure joy he exudes in the classroom, unquote. Ronnie himself wrote in one of his application essays, quote, knowledge fulfills me. I view the world through a lens of curiosity, seeking explanations for everything, whether they be academic topics or everyday occurrences, unquote. Clearly, learning is just a part of who Ronnie is. Indeed, and speaking of Ronnie, his teachers moved quickly from commenting on his obvious academic abilities to his genuine intellectual curiosity and passion for ideas and solving complex problems across a range of subject areas. History teacher and former chair of our history department, Christos Galanopoulos, wrote, Ronnie was in my AP US history class as a junior and in both of my semester-long advanced seminar philosophy classes as a senior. I can safely say that his contributions helped to make all of these classes some of the most memorable ones in my long career at King. With his beautiful articulations and eruditions, he so often shed light in dark and complicated areas, and I remember him giving me and his peers so many aha moments. Outside of the academic realm, Ronnie made a strong impact on his beloved sport, basketball, taking on the captainship and playing a powerful role in shaping younger players. During the height of the pandemic, he recognized that many students could benefit from additional peer connection and support, and he started a tutoring club that mirrored our Math Assistance Club. He is also very proud of his Slovakian heritage and is eager to take courses in Eastern European and Slavic studies at university in the near future. As for Ronnie's near future, we know this academically gifted young person will continue to soak up knowledge every chance he gets at Princeton University this fall. We are so proud of him, and we are eager to see where his journey takes him. Audience, please welcome our class of 2022 valedictorian, Ronnie Harvey, to the podium.
Good afternoon, parents, faculty, friends, and my fellow members of the class of 2022. I'm honored and grateful to be speaking here today. I find it hard to believe that I've completed my 14th year at King School. I'm a King lifer, meaning I have known no other school, so this is definitely the end of an era for me. I began my journey here at the age of 4, And as I've grown up in these halls and on these fields over the past decade and a half, I've witnessed our class grow up alongside me. The one thing that stands out the most to me about our class is its sense of community. Students from different backgrounds with different interests who join the school at different times all enrich and buy into this community. Over the years, we have forged strong bonds among the members of this class. We have faced difficult challenges in our high school experience, with the effects of the COVID pandemic being felt for 3 out of our 4 years here. Nevertheless, our community persevered. This was in part due to the larger King community's efforts to maintain a sense of normalcy during these trying times by organizing grade-wide events such as food trucks or dog petting stress busters. But even more key to maintaining our community was each of you. You took it upon yourselves to resist the urge to slip into isolation as we entered the earliest stages of the pandemic. I have seen too many group FaceTime calls, spikeball games, and late nights on Xbox to count. Though it was a difficult time for all, the class of 2022 emerged from the COVID era stronger and more united than ever. Another thing that makes our class so special is the fact that we don't fit in a box, as individuals or as a group. We have a wide variety of interests that make each of us unique, and we don't judge each other for being who we are. We have athletes who are amazing artists, scientists who excel on stage, and musicians who are great at debate. These unique talents, along with our deep connections and mutual respect, means that we can learn from each other and grow together. This collaborative atmosphere was encouraged by our teachers as well, who not only taught us the material and concepts necessary to expand our knowledge, but also the value of considering multiple perspectives, thinking critically, and developing ourselves and our opinions. These lessons have allowed us to learn from each other and develop into unique, well-rounded adults. I can definitely say that for me, personally, I've benefited so much from being a part of this community. As many of my classmates and teachers know, I have a bad habit of procrastination. I actually put off submitting this speech until last night, so here's my public apology to Ms. Manganello. Sorry. However, I found that working with friends helped keep me grounded and focused, whether it be on group projects, homework assignments, or studying. This has made such a difference for me. I can truthfully say that without this community, I would not be up here speaking as your valedictorian today. I also have much to be thankful for outside of the classroom. I was honored to be a member of the prestigious King Carol singing group, which will go down as the greatest live performance in school history. More seriously, though, I have many, many friends in this class that I know I can always count on if I'm having a hard time. So thank you for supporting me, and thank you to the entire class of 2022 for exhibiting the King virtue of kindness within our community. I would also like to thank all the King faculty, staff, and administration for guiding us through these last 4 years, as well as all the parents, friends, families, and mentors for supporting your students throughout high school. Lastly, I'd like to especially thank my own family for supporting me. Mom, Dad, Katie, and everyone else. You guys have helped me so much, and I cannot be more grateful. To the class of 2022, as we leave school today for the last time, I want you all to recognize the value of our community. This is what we have created and what we embody, and we should be very proud. As we go our separate ways after the summer, wherever the future takes you, remember how powerful a community like this one can be, and strive to create a community like ours in your new homes. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
Thank you so much, Ronnie. It is now my pleasure to acknowledge graduates, soon-to-be graduates, who are graduating today with diploma distinctions in Global Studies, Leadership Studies, STEM, Art and Design, and World Languages. We have a really lovely group of graduates earning these diploma distinctions today, and you can identify them by the gold they're literally wearing. Can someone hold up? There, someone in the front row have one? There you go. Yeah, so they're gold little ropes around their necks signify a diploma distinction. I'm going to ask everyone to stand. I'm going to name each person, and then we'll hold our applause until all names have been read, okay? So earning a diploma distinction today in global studies, Grace Cadman, Nick Clark, Ori Devon, Emmy Freeman, Ellie Gowdy, Hugh Henschel, Nico Hills, Raheel Jaswal, Dean Katabaski, Olivia McGrath, Luke Nardella, Davis Piper, and Karina Rao. Earning a diploma distinction in leadership studies this year is Lily Claire Elpert. Our STEM distinction crew this year, brilliant group, Giovanna Armetta, Billy Bernfeld, Adam Namani, and John Russell. Our visual arts distinction group is Paige Baird, Jamie Munno, and Anna Sheridan. And earning a world language distinction today is Olivia McGrath. Congratulations to all of you. Congratulations. You may be seated.
Today we have the honor to welcome our alumna, Julie Sheets, as this year's keynote commencement speaker. Julie Sheets started at one of our founding schools, King Haywood Thomas, in 5th grade and graduated in 2003 as the school's valedictorian. Julie currently serves as the Chief of Staff for Indo-Pacific Security Affairs in the Office of the Secretary of Defense. In this role, she oversees an organization of nearly 100 people that provides the Secretary of Defense with policy recommendations and advice spanning the management of the United States treaty alliances and partnerships in the Indo-Pacific region. She previously served in a number of other assignments in the Department of Defense, including the lead global force planner for the Indo-Pacific region and at the International Security Assistance Force headquarters in Afghanistan, as well as a rotational detail to the Senate Defense Appropriations Subcommittee. Prior to joining the Department of Defense, Julie was an associate director at Brooks Bauer Asia, a boutique consulting and advisory services firm facilitating U.S. investment in Southeast Asia. She holds a bachelor's degree in international relations and French studies from the University of Pennsylvania and a master's degree in Asian regional studies from Harvard University. Before Julie comes up to the podium, I'd like to share with you how she is remembered by some of her teachers. Our chair of the World Languages Department, Claudia Leiden, taught Julie in middle school and remembers her as very diligent, high-achieving, and asking lots of questions. She was very curious and always wanted to know more. Her grade 9 history teacher, Christos Galanopoulos, Mr. G, remembers her interest in the Balkans and the Progressive era. He described her as one of his top students ever and as someone always eager to explore complex historical topics and international affairs. As a school committed to inquiry-based teaching and learning, it fills me with pride to see how Julie has embodied throughout her life the type of student, scholar, and professional that we are proud to help shape and serve, curious, inquisitive, and ready to tackle and find solutions to complex real-world problems. As we witness the changing dynamics taking place on the domestic and international stage, Julie's background and experience and words of wisdom will surely inspire us all. I am thrilled to welcome her back to campus. Please welcome Julie Sheets.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you for that much too kind introduction. Thank you to all the faculty that I remember from my time here. Congratulations, class of 2022. Congratulations as well to your parents, your friends, your family, the faculty here celebrating with you today. You made it. It is an honor to be invited to share in this special occasion with you. And I promise not to drone on too long, as I know I'm standing between you and the actual diplomas and parties and all that you deserve. As Carol mentioned, this is my second time speaking on this stage. It was, 19 years ago that I had the privilege of speaking to my own graduating class as their valedictorian. I'm pretty sure I have no idea what happened during that ceremony. In fact, I was reminded before stepping out here that I was sitting next to an NFL star, which I have no recollection of, because I was pretty nervous about my own speaking role. So Ronnie, my hat's off to you. You did great. Like you, I was excited and nervous for what this milestone would mean. And like you, my class graduated into an uncertain and changing world. For us, it was the aftermath of 9/11. For you, the pandemic has already altered your high school experience, as many have spoken about, and I'm certain that it will have far-reaching consequences in the years to come that will shape your opportunities and contributions. Growing up here, I always knew that I was interested in the world, as folks have said, and that I wanted to somehow make a career out of it. For me, 9/11 drove home the need to foster more mutual understanding. Growing up here in Connecticut, I had opportunities going to King to participate in Model UN with Mr. Gallinopoulos, to work on the school newspaper with Ms. Sadleski and others. I interned at the Stanford Advocate, was able to travel into the city, attend French opera at the Met. We even hosted an Israeli citizen at our home for her gap year. This was before King had a global studies program, so we kind of made our own, but I would have loved to be a participant in that if it existed. And I thought maybe someday I would work as a diplomat at the United Nations or become a foreign correspondent. King and the King community prepared me well for the challenges and opportunities of college. Although I worried about coming from such a small high school to a large university like Penn, I found the demands of college coursework manageable, while many of my classmates who came from larger high schools struggled with the new demands like writing a paper longer than 5 pages. Being required to participate in so many different activities here at King made finding a new community on campus easy as well. In fact, it was only 2 months into my freshman year of college when my college Model UN Club hosted a conference that the King team attended, and I had a chance to catch up with teachers and friends. Throughout my years in university, I tried to figure out how my interests related to what I might do next. I joined the staff at the school paper, I did a summer internship with satellite radio in Manhattan and with NPR in Philadelphia during the school year to explore journalism. I decided to major in relations, become a peer mentor for exchange students, study abroad for a year in Paris, and do a summer internship at the State Department in Vietnam to explore living and working overseas. While it may sound panic-inducing or counterintuitive, what most of these experiences actually helped me to identify as what I didn't want to do. For instance, I discovered that I was much more interested in Asia than I was in Europe. And I realized that being a diplomat and being told where to move every few years wasn't for me, but that representing the United States might be. Putting in the work allowed me to hone my avenues of exploration. I decided that I needed to learn an Asian language after a lifetime of learning French, so after college I moved to Beijing to teach English and learn Chinese. You think your parents are worried now about how you'll spend this last summer at home. Imagine 4 years from now you are graduating from college and telling them you're moving around the world to a place you've never been, you don't speak the language, and the shiny new college degree has landed you a great job earning about $500 a month, which is less than I made at any of my jobs in high school. I love you, Mom. Thanks for coming today, still speaking to me. I'm sure my mother would have preferred that King offered Mandarin language instruction at that time, but I'm not sure I would have figured it out earlier if they had. And frankly, there's no replacement for immersion. So sorry, parents, if your kids follow my example. Taking that leap of faith in myself has been foundational. Besides being one of the most fun years of my life, and if you ever have the chance to attend the Olympics, do it, I finally felt like I was living my interests and building the skills, personal and professional, that I needed to turn this into a long-term career. Most importantly, I found out that I was more resilient than I imagined. I think you all know something about that already, given the past few years, but it's a source of real strength that will take you into these next steps. For my part, Beijing led me to Washington, D.C., to a small consultancy that was mentioned, which in turn led me to a graduate degree in Asian studies that might otherwise have been a law degree or a public policy degree, and into a career as a D.C.-based civil servant for the Department of Defense rather than a globe-trotting diplomat or journalist. My decade at the Pentagon has meant hard work, long hours, bureaucratic infighting, being underestimated as a woman in a man's world, but it has also meant unique opportunities like traveling on the Secretary's plane, visiting places like Guam and Palau, a 6-month deployment to Afghanistan that my mother may never recover from, and meeting and understanding the world and making an impact in a way few people will get the chance to do. In hindsight, it might seem obvious that someone interested in the world, graduating in the year after 9/11, and into the new world that we entered into after that attack, might end up working to advance American security and global leadership. But my lived experience was not so straightforward. It was trial and error, one foot in front of the other, and it still is. I'd like to leave you with a few takeaways from what I've learned since walking up this stage a little while ago. First, and I know this is cliche, you have to know yourself. You have to be yourself. You have to trust yourself. You've been raised by this wonderful, supportive community, and that's an advantage that will carry you far. But you have to believe in your instincts, in what you know, and have the courage to apply that knowledge. Second, you have to be willing to challenge yourself and to test your hypotheses. Take the job that's uncomfortable, talk to the person who intimidates you, get outside your comfort zone. It's important to know your own limitations, and in testing them to find out there might not be as limiting as you thought. Finally, you have to engage with the world around you and be in dialogue with people and places that shape the context in which you will hone your own interests and pursue your ambitions. As I told my fellow graduates nearly 2 decades ago, stand for something or you will fall for anything. That advice has served me well, and I hope you all will discover, as I have, that the world is waiting for you, wants to hear from you, and will be changed by you. And maybe while you're figuring all of that out, you'll have a great time, you'll meet the best people, you'll expand your family and chosen community, and you'll get invited back to where it all started to talk about it again. So thank you again for having me, and congratulations to the class of 2022.
The task of a graduation speaker is not simple. That speaker should connect with the audience, inspire, and even offer moments of humor and levity. I am confident that our senior speaker will do all of these things. In order to connect with the audience, the speaker must know the audience well, the circumstances, the time, and the place. In this case, that place is King School. And who would know King better than one of our lifers? It is a pleasure for me to introduce our senior speaker, Jack Holtz. Hang on a second. I'm going to talk about it. I want to say nice things about you first, Jack. And this way your parents can get really good pictures of you because, they haven't taken any yet so far. Jack is passionate about King and about his classmates. When he enters a room, he's followed by a cheerful crowd, contagious laughter, and a wake of positive energy. Jack started at King in pre-kindergarten and has been with us throughout his entire academic career, 14 years. But I learned recently that he has actually been hanging around our campus with his family since he was just a few months old. Jack's kindergarten teacher, Julia Rashinsky-Wood, remembers how he used to enter the classroom each morning with a big smile and ready to learn about the activities of the day. Showing leadership from very early on, Julia said he often used his imagination to encourage others to participate in activities and eagerly shared his knowledge with peers. Middle school arts and design teacher Katie Tobin remembers Jack's passion for sports, particularly basketball and football, often incorporating his beloved Seattle Seahawks into his artwork. In the upper school, English teacher Lindsay Stone describes Jack as unafraid to participate even when not sure if on the right track. He views setbacks as opportunities to do better, something we value at King. Genuine concern for others, positivity, and a sense of humor were common themes mentioned by his teachers, even during the challenges of the past 2 years. Jack took his learning at King seriously, and he also enjoyed the journey, choosing a rigorous academic program, as well as throwing himself into activities that he was passionate about. In true King fashion, Jack was passionate about sports and expressed himself through many creative endeavors, such as poetry and performing arts. And you did so, says his English teacher, Adam Boaz, with intellectual courage and honesty. Adam remembers Jack's humorous poems imbued with seriousness about topics that were important and personal to him. Regarding his onstage work, Adam recognized Jack's willingness to embrace the vulnerable as well as the frenetic parts of his dramatic skill set. As student council president, Jack's goal was to represent his peers and make sure that they had a great year, and I think he accomplished that. In addition to planning dress-down theme days, he will be remembered for the wonderful rendition of All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey, with fellow senior boys dressed in holiday sweaters on the stage of the PAC to a roaring audience. Jack took full advantage of chances to engage with the King community as a senior, returning to football after 3 years, leading the JV Red basketball team in spirit and chest bumps, and rooting on his classmates at as many games as he could attend. I will always remember Jack as the Viking at the homecoming pep rally. Unafraid to put his love of King's School on public display, he led the class and school with ultimate Viking pride and school spirit. Those who know Jack know his trusty megaphone was not really needed as he cheered on his fellow athletes, but nonetheless, he worked it into his routine, and it will certainly be remembered as a part of his Viking legacy. Jack's coaches acknowledge his natural leadership skills and the energy he brought to practices and games. He helped wherever he could and never hesitated to support the needs of the team. I believe our Dean of Athletics, Micah Haubin, speaks for all of us when he says this: Jack will be missed, but certainly not forgotten, and there will always be a spot for him on the sidelines at King. The embodiment of a King student, curious and compassionate, a multifaceted individual, and a team player who is unafraid to try new things. Please welcome our senior speaker, Jack Holtz.
Good afternoon. Thank you. I know you probably just think I'm another one of these big shots coming out here to break out the same old graduation cliches, but my goal by the end of the speech is to have you so amped up that you should all have no problem catching me when I go for the inevitable crowd surf. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Jack Holtz, captain of the JV basketball state championship team. World famous ice cream connoisseur, four-time King School's sexiest man, a King lifer, and the class of 2022 graduate class speaker. For those of you that do know me, you should know that it was understandable for the administration to be a little nervous for me coming up here and giving a speech. I'm a little bit of a wild card, so I had to turn in this speech for approval before coming up here and speaking today. Just kidding, Ms. Sadlowski. I have a second copy of the same one I turned in. So I promise that's my last senior prank, as if the first one wasn't enough. Okay. Whew. This thing really gets in my face, sorry. As I reflected on my time in high school to prepare for this speech, the defining aspects of my time here were undoubtedly the friendships and connections that I have built along the way. This definitely hasn't been the easiest time to go through high school. COVID wiped out the ending of our sophomore year and had a massive impact on our junior year. However, I believe what kept us going during these tough times were the bonds that we shared with one another. We were brought closer together and were determined to take full advantage of our final year. With school being mostly back to normal as seniors, it was amazing to see what our class could accomplish. Academically, it was awesome to see Ronnie Harvey, Carson Perlman, and Karina Rao award the prestigious title of National Merit Scholar. And we watched in amazement as incredible scientists Giovanna Armetta, Billy Bernfeld, John Russell, and Adam Nomani, showed off their mind-blowing projects through the Expire program. Artistically, the return of in-person theater allowed Olivia McGrath, Sarah Cepeda, and Joe's Butler to deliver phenomenal performances of Macbeth and Pirates of Penzance. Additionally, we saw 10 seniors put their brilliant artwork on display during the art colloquium. Athletically, captains Mike Gerbic, Henry Ratner, Nor Shen, and Nicole Solante captained championship-winning teams this year. On top of this, the lineup of athletic superstars, Steve, Jonas Savitz, Pradeep the Freak Kosanam, Thomas J. Mo, Ryan Hamoud, and yours truly, changed the game, bringing home King's first ever state championship for the JV ball basketball team. There are so many other amazing accomplishments that I don't have time to give shout-outs to right now, but everyone definitely has a lot to be proud of this year. All of these achievements are incredible, but as I said earlier, this is not how I judge my class or my time in high school. Instead, I find that the friendships that we have made in pursuit of these accomplishments have been the most important. As I was researching for this speech, I came across a powerful observation regarding friendship by author C.S. Lewis that stood out to me. And I quote, "Friendship is unnecessary. It has no survival value. Rather, it is one of those things which give value to survival." Here we are. We survived high school through all the craziness of the last 4 years, but I urge you, don't let that be the sole legacy of your time here. As we move on, as Lewis said, friendship is what gives value to that survival. We may all express friendships in different ways, whether it be going to see a movie together, providing some helpful advice, or teaming up with 75-year classmates in the middle of a Thursday night to redecorate our school. That's the last joke. Senior prank, sorry. My point is, I've been blessed to be a part of this community for the last 14 years, and so have you all for the time that you've spent here. So, don't let that go to waste. There are lifelong connections in this tent right now, as long as we put in the effort. Some would argue that these connections that we have made are priceless. However, there are others that would argue that $180,000 is plenty. So let's tackle the next steps of our journey just as we've tackled these last 4 years together. Let's ensure that through these friendships, we get the most value we possibly can for being members of the King community. And let's all go out into the real world and strive to become the second most successful member of this class. Sorry, but I don't think anyone else is getting their own Hulu show. But some would argue I can dance better than our former classmate. To finish, I just want to say thank you to my classmates for voting me, my teachers for always putting up with me, Miss O'Toole, Miss Karapides, Mr. G, I know it got tough towards the end. Thank you to the administration, especially Ms. Sadlowski, for making this final year incredible. And a huge thank you to my parents for all of your support. This is your third graduation here at King, 20 years, and I heard if you put a fourth kid through, they give you a keychain with your name on it. So it might be worth sticking around for another 14 years. Before I go, I do want to leave you with the wise words of a contemporary philosopher. Always remember, dig deep and find a reason. And as I move on, my reason will be all of you. Now here comes the crowd swerve. Actually, I don't think I can risk that diploma, but y'all can meet me at the after party, especially you, Mr. Chentu. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jack. All right. Junior marshals, take your positions. We are now ready to begin with the presentation of diplomas. Okay, we'll try that one more time. We are now ready for the presentation of diplomas. Elizabeth Dorothy Woodbury. Thomas J. Widdowson. Fushi Wang. Faith Rose Walton. Beckett Brewster Walters. Charles Thomas Van Osen. Kenneth Villard. Thomas David James Vicari. Jordan Catherine Signorile. Anna Elizabeth Sheridan. Stephen Connor Shentu. Nora Shatton. Jonah Leo Savitz. Nicole Anna Maria Salante. Lily Hamilton Ryan. Margaret May Ravinsky. John Andrew Russell. Jordan Elizabeth Rogers. Nicole Kate Rower. Quinn Susan Resnick. Alexander Mason Resnick. Henry Ratner. Karina D. Rao. Christopher Duncan Raker. Sejan A. Porter. William B. Plummer. Wadil Hunter Platt, Jr. Donald Davis Piper. Caitlin Louise Peters. Carson Kemp Perlman. Tucker Cole Pedersen. Charlotte Elizabeth Ozismere. Adam Namani. Luke Michael Nardella. Jameson Osborne Munno. Riley P. Moore. Louis Henry Moore III. Lillian H. Mitchell. Jacob D. Miller. Mariana Isabel McCosker. Olivia Felix McGrath. Tyler Nicholas Mace. Brandon Lewis. Carolina Dutra Lete. Alexis B. Leibowitz. Austin Carnegie Laramie. Pratik Roy Kosanam. Dean Katabaski. Hanqing Jiang. Rahil D'Souza Jaswal. Nicholas Hills. Hugh Gunther Henschel. Madison Haley Hart. Ryan Jamal Hamoud Jr. Mike Gerbic Jr. Eleanor Rose Gowdy. Jacob Jones Gordon. Lena Elizabeth Gerster. Jameson Parker Gerson. Tyler Alexander Galante. Emmy Stone Freeman. Ashley Flynn. Thomas Fitzgibbons. Perry Eliza Ferguson. Owen B. Donovan. Adam Nasser Donnelly. Ori David Devon. Annabelle M. Creveling. Jeremy Wayne Cook. Charlotte Rose Cohen. Nicholas M. Clark. Sara Minerva Cepeda. Hannah Afkari Carter. Grace Ella Cadman. Jose Butler. Madeline Lalonde Bramel. Madeline Bell Blattman. Billy Bernfeld. William Ari Bennett. Madison Ella Berry. Paige Adeline Baird. Catherine Amabel Bear. Dalton Charles Asa. Giovanna Marie Armetta. Isaiah Andre Altius. Lorraine Claire Elpert. Emily Ann Ballard Alexander. Daniel Acosta. William Wallace Abbott. Jack Michael Holtz. And Ronald Paul Harvey.
Sorry. Please stand for the singing of America the Beautiful. The lyrics can be found on the back of your program. Please be seated. Please be seated. Just as we ring ourselves in each new year as a community, today you are going to ring yourselves out for the last time. I would like to invite Reverend Lingle back up to the podium for the benediction. Please stand.
Again, class of 2022, congratulations and blessings on your journey. Remember, life is short and we do not have much time to gladden the hearts of those who journey with us. So be quick to love and make haste to be kind. And may you be blessed by that holy mystery that enlivens all of life and regards with mercy and grace the unique blessing that is your life. Amen.
All right, graduates. The moment has arrived. Yeah, you're holding those things, right? You're going to move your tassels from right to left at the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Congratulations, class of 2022! Woo! Thank you so much for being with us today. We will begin with the recessional. Oh, I thought there was no music. There we go. That's what we were waiting for.
Yeah.